right, so let's talk about switch statements. Now, switch statements are kind of an elegant way to create a menu. And so that's exactly what we have. We have a very, very basic menu in this program. And in future videos, we will add to this and we'll actually create a really, really cool dynamic menu. Cool for the console anyway. So let's take a look at this. So the first thing I have right here is I'm asking, hey, what time of the day is it? Is it morning? Is it afternoon? Is it evening? Or is it night? And then I'm using a console.readline in order to get the user input. Now, as we'll see here, we're not doing any validation whatsoever on this. And validation will come a little later. But as of right now, we get the user input, and then we're going to test the value of the user input in this switch statement. So it's kind of like saying, hey, if it's this scenario or this case, then do that. If it's this one, you get the idea. But if it's not any of those, if it's something else, if it doesn't match exactly what's in these statements, then it'll go to a default. And then we'll break out of the switch statement altogether, which will end the program. So let's see this thing in action. Now let's say it's morning time. I enter a number 1 and I hit enter. And it clears the screen and then it prints out good morning. Now, let's do it again. And let's say 3. And it says good evening. Now, this menu is very, very fragile. And what I mean by that is, if I don't put in exactly what I'm looking for in this case statement, then it's not going to work properly. So for instance, let's run this again. And this time I get a little excited and I write 1 and a space. And it went to the default. It just broke out of the switch statement and went to the press any key to continue, which just closes out the program. One of the cool things about the switch statement is that we can add additional cases. So we could say morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Now when we run this, we have additional options to input into this field for it to work. So we could say morning this time. And there you go, it works. But as you can see here, if I were to put everything in lowercase, it didn't work. Even though I said morning, it didn't work. It's because a capital M and a lowercase m are 2 completely different characters. And so now we understand the importance of validation, because wouldn't it be nice to be able to say, hey, I don't care if this person puts in a capital M or a lowercase m, I want both of them to be evaluated the same way, and then let's just make it happen. And that we will talk about in validation.